This isn't public data and your agent does not have this. I've got the real numbers on which new home communities are thriving, struggling, and everything else in between. Hi, welcome to Invest with Jim, where you'll find real estate insights that no one else is sharing with you. And I say that a lot, but here's what I mean by this. I share a lot of data and statistics on this channel, and I wanted you to know that that mostly pertains to resale homes, all right? As real estate agents, most of us deal in resale homes, right? But a big segment of the market are new home sales. The data for that is much harder to find, okay? As I started researching these numbers, they were not public. I couldn't find them anywhere on the internet. So I started tracking down. I discovered who the builders use to get this data so they can prepare their forecasts for sales and things like that. And it turns out it's a company that actually just gathers this data and then sells it to the builders. Like the builders, I had to go pay for this data. That's why I'm saying your agent probably does not have these numbers. And when I say that this is insights that no one else is sharing, I'm not exaggerating that. So if you want to work with a realtor with actual data and not just opinions, reach out to me and make your next move a smart one. Let's get into the numbers. So what was the highest price sale in Q1 of this year? And to no surprise, it's Toll Brothers and is in the Ridgeline community, which is located in Summerlin South in Ascension. Very popular community. The top sale price was $2.165 million. All right, it's for a single family, one-story home. It was right under 5,000 square feet. So the lowest price new construction that sold in Q1 was by Harmony Homes in a community called Falcon Ridge, which is located in East Las Vegas. And this is a attached product, meaning it's like a townhouse or condo. And the sale price was $285,000. And that was for something that was right over 1,000 square feet. If you wanted to know what the lowest price home in all of Southern Nevada was, it was actually in Mesquite, which is a city just outside of Las Vegas, is in a Sun City community built by Pulte, and it sold for $225,000 for 1,241 square feet. Let's get into the traffic. The most heavy traffic for new homes, meaning where did most people go visit model homes by builders, was in the southwest part of Las Vegas. It made up about 30% of all traffic, okay? Number two was in the northwest. It made up about 27% of all the traffic. And then rounding out the top three is Henderson, making up just under 22% of all the traffic. So just so you know, in the southwest, it's like 12,000 people visited new homes there with a net of 703 net sales, all right? In the northwest, there was over 11,000 people visiting new homes with a net sales of 670 sales. And then in Henderson, 9,000 people went and looked at new homes with net sales of 763. And then in the southwest, the price range that mostly people are buying are basically from 400K up to 600K. In the northwest, people are buying 400K up to 700K. And then in Henderson is kind of like the southwest, 400K up to 600K is the most sales. So if I were to break it down by builders and just not area of town, the builder with the most traffic with, 9,700 visitors was Pulte. Number two was D.R. Horton with just under 6,000 visitors at their model homes. And then finally, rounding out the top three, KB Homes with 4,929 visitors to their new builds. What I'm seeing there is people like to really visit and see a nice homes. One of the communities with the most traffic was in Summerlin South in Ascension, where they had the highest price sale actually, and that had a lot of traffic. What turns out is it's definitely not translating to the most sales either, right? Because people are looking at $1 million homes, buying 500K homes, right? So that's no different than those home buyers that are out there on Zillow looking at $2 million homes and they're actually pre-approved for maybe a 500K house. In the new home sales, it's kind of the same too. So if you ever went to a luxury community, we'll say, you go in and the salesperson doesn't even give you any attention or offer you any help or information, that's probably why, because they have a lot of people just kind of looking, but with no intentions of really buying, or nor can they even qualify. If you want to look at something nice and you want to get the attention you need, you should bring an agent like myself with you so they know you're serious and you're pre-qualified and you get the service and information that you actually deserve. So Further breaking down this traffic, 35% of all the traffic were from people that are living in the Las Vegas area already. The other 2/3 are actually people from other markets visiting Las Vegas, mostly California. So yes, it does happen. People come to Vegas, they eat fun. One of the things that they like to do is go look at new homes too. So another reason why new home salespeople might not care if you're looking at the model home that much, all right? Let's talk about the top net sales. So I'm gonna break it down by submarket again. Area of town that has the most net sales is actually Henderson, all right? They account for almost 28% of all the new builds that sold. R2 is in the Southwest. Although they had the most traffic, they were number 2 on the net sales with 25%, and then in the Northwest with just under 25%. So who were the builders with the top sales, all right? I'll give you the top 3. A builder that had the most sales in Q1 was Lennar Homes. They sold 540 new homes. Number 2 was D.R. Horton. They sold 486 new homes in Q1, and then KB sold 368 new homes in Q1. Next thing, we're gonna move into most contracts, but we're also gonna talk about the cancellations. So top 3 of gross contracts, number 1 was Lennar with 608 contracts. D.R. Horton had 540 contracts, and Pulte had 433 contracts, all right? But there's always gonna be cancellations as well too, all right? Pulte had 85 cancel with net sales of 360. Lennar had 68 cancels, so their net sales were 540, and then D.R. Horton had 54 cancellations, so their net sales were 486. What are the builders doing to combat these cancellations, all right? So what I'm noticing right now are that the builders are building a lot more spec homes actually, because you build a house, it's gonna take like 9 to 12 months, right? And a lot can change in 9 to 12 months, right? People's income could change. Interest rates have a big influence on if people wanna move forward or not, because if you were pre-approved and it was a 6% rate, and then when you're getting ready to close, it's like a 7% rate, that could really change things. So I'm seeing builders doing a lot more quick move-ins with spec homes now. A quick move-in is they get you in contract, you're gonna close probably like 30 to 60 days from there. So if you're looking for new homes right now and you wanna get an idea of, do you have leverage to negotiate? A community has a lot of standing inventory or a lot of spec homes that they're trying to sell. They're gonna offer incentives, they're gonna offer all types of things for you. You might even be able to negotiate the price on this if the builder is having trouble selling, right? If they are not having trouble selling, you might have a little less leverage in your negotiating, all right? So it's important for you to work with an agent that is aware of the market and knows the feels of it, so you know you are getting the best deal. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare year over year now. So I'm gonna look at Q1 of 2025 versus 2024. So in Q1 of 2024, there were 3,419 new build sales. In Q1 of 2025, it dropped down to 2,736 new home sales, all right? So a decline from the previous year. As far as traffic goes, same thing. I mean, there was 48,886 visitors to new homes, and in Q1 of 2025, there was only 41,419 visitors to new homes. I think there's a big decline is because we have not seen any relief in interest rates, which everyone, especially buyers, are waiting for rates to go down. And secondly, we just kind of had a lot of uncertainty and people weren't trying to make these big financial moves. It's all the uncertainty going on in the world and in the economy, of course. My final thoughts from kind of analyzing these numbers are that buyers are not panicking. They're just moving very cautiously. They don't want to jump into something where they'll lose money or be in a financial bind. I can also tell you that incentives and affordability are what is driving buyers' decision right now. Another fast-selling product are quick move-ins. They're still the most attractive. I think people just don't want to wait too long for a house to build, honestly. They just want it now. Here's an interesting thing too I notice is primary home owners are the ones that are driving the new home sales right now. You're seeing very little second home, vacation home buyers, and even fewer investors buying new homes as investments right now. And the builder's strategy really matters right now. The ones that are winning obviously are having good locations, good incentives, and just good value overall, right? You know, you're getting a good, decent square footage, decent lot size. Maybe the HOA is not too high and there's not all these extra HOAs like master plan fees, sub-association fees, because a lot of these master plans have SIDs and things like that too, and they all are adding to the monthly cost for the home buyer. It helps to have a realtor that is connected to all of these communities. I'm notified when incentives are about about to change, when prices are about to drop or go up, and when the next lot releases are happening. Which means if you work with me, you'll get priority access before the general public. If you want that advantage, be sure to reach out to the number on the screen. I'd love to help you navigate the new home market the right way. Thank you for watching, and I just want to let you know that these reports come out on a quarterly basis, so I will be doing a new home report every quarter as this data is released. So it's not going to happen right after the quarter ends. They need a little time to gather it. So, hang in there, be patient. I'll present it to you. Don't worry. Be sure to like and subscribe so you do not miss when that video drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.